For this first assignment, to get the database up and running and configured and integrated with your project, you'll need one more library, which is the body parser. Okay, which is if you go back to Express, right, and you look for body parser, it's right here. You can require it. You can require it. There it is, body parser. Which is, notice that it's grayed out, probably because we're not using it. But this library, I don't believe I have it in package JSON. Is it? Oh, it is there. Notice if I remove it and I try to require it, right, and I try to restart the server, it's going to complain. It's not complaining. Why are you not complaining? Require body parser. Do I have it? I did. I did install it. Okay. Okay, so we did install it earlier, right? Using npm install -- save. So okay, it's not complaining. So let me put that back. So body parser. Let's configure it now. Let's load a couple more things. We need to tell it what body parser is that Express can receive a lot of information from the client, right? Right now, we're not passing anything, right? We're just asking for a file, right? But we could provide information like in the form of form submissions, right? You can submit a form, and so out of the box, Express doesn't know how to handle submissions from a form, okay? Because there's so many things that you can send from a client. You can upload a file. You can send JSON, you can send XML, you can send all sorts of things. You can send cookies, all sorts of headers that you can send over from the client. So out of the box, Express doesn't know how to extract information from all these various input ways, right? So body parser is, like the name suggests, you can configure it to be able to parse JSON data from form submissions, right? You can submit forms, and in this first assignment, we're asking you to be able to submit information from submitting a form. Okay, so you'll need that. Right? So we'll configure that as well. There it is, and I'm just copying straight from the Express website. Okay, I think that's all you need for this first assignment. Okay. All right, and if we restart the server, it should be okay. All right, yep. Also, I'll ask you not to start the server from the command line like this. Okay. Instead, get into the habit of creating run configurations, right? So that, for instance, I'll create one here, and I'm going to expect that you all do the same using your own IDEs. Right here, you can start create a Node.js start run configuration. This is going to say that we're going to use the local Node.js instance to execute the local file under this directory, right? Whatever your directory is. We're going to run the server file, server.js. Yes? This is the same as typing node space server.js. Right? But this gives you the benefit that now you can step through the code. Right? You can start it in debug mode, right? And you can put breakpoints on the server, right? And step through the code and debug this. All right? So this is one of the first things that I'll do. And the TAs also, if you come to us for help, right, this is one of the first things we'll do, right, is to make sure that we can step through the code. And ideally, we will see evidence that you have stepped through your code, right? That you have tried to, if you ran into an issue, that you have tried to solve it by stepping through the code. Okay. All right. So, but that only works if you create a configuration. Please do so. So now we can just run it from clicking on this arrow, and there it is. It's running. Okay. So let's run that. Let's refresh. All right. So if we click on test Mongo, you might see this error. This is a little test application we created to be able to test your local databases. Okay, right now it's giving an error. Let's see why is giving an error. Probably because I don't have MongoDB running. Do I? I do have MongoDB running, so it's not that. Notice that here I have Mongo installed, and I'm running it using sudo mongod, which I need to provide my admin password. Okay. Once it's running, it tells that it's listening at a particular port, and my data is being stored in DataDB and listening at port 27017. Now my little test application, the way it works is that under the public directory, there's a little test application. There's this little index page, which is exactly where we are right now, test index page. You see that? Right? If we look at the error messages, let's see if we inspect. This inspect tab I'm using. This inspect right here is going to be your best friend for the rest of the semester. It allows you to debug your application on the client side, right? The IDE will allow you to debug your application on the server side, okay? The inspect console here will allow you to debug things on the client side and see what's going on. Notice that there's three errors, and it says cannot AngularJS slice. Okay. App.js. Wait, we have app.js? I do have app.js. There's my app.js. So this is a little Angular application. Let's see if it's up and running. Let's see. Let me refresh. So it's coming in here. We haven't looked at Angular just yet, so this might not be useful just yet. But we can step through this. It's trying to hit the server, the database, to go fetch some data. Oh, I know. I did not load the server side of this application, which it lives right here. This test app, this app.js under the test directory. We need to load that. Let's load that as well. Let's require, and load our -test/app.js, which I believe you already have in your repository. Right? I'm not going to check this in. It should already be running for you. Let's run that. Let's just try it again. If you click on restart, it's going to ask you, do you want to stop the old server that is already running before I start it again? Right? I'm going to suggest that you say yes and never bother me again. Yes, stop the old server and restart the new server. Okay, notice that I can step through my server-side code line by line. Okay, which is very, very nice. And I can see all my local variables, right, which allow you to debug this. So let's continue. Let me run this again. Oops. Console and my server. Is my server running? Ooh, it died. Why did you die? Finish exit. Let me run that again. Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't have a lot of the libraries that I need. Let me install. It says that I can't find the Mongoose module. I need to install it. Notice that it's not part of my package JSON. I believe for yours it is, but let me install that. Let me install it right here. I can say npm install mongoose -- save. Don't forget the -- save. Okay, let me try to run it again. Okay, it didn't die on us. That's good. Let me run this again. Index. Okay. All right. Let me debug this on the app. The app. Notice that this is the app.get that we looked at earlier, and this is the part that retrieves data from the server side. I don't want to get into this just yet because we haven't talked about MongoDB or anything like that. I'll finish this up on my own offline, right? And I'll provide it for you and post it for your GitHub. For now, I'd like to just get started on playing around with a little client application just to get you a feeling on what it is that you're going to be working for in the semester. Okay, let's do that.